Do you have some money you've put aside that you want to invest but you're scared of losing it? Stick around where I show you the top 3 ways to invest your money safely in 2020. How's it going, guys? Ryan here, and today I want to share with you some ways to invest your money where you've got little to almost no chance of it going to waste or you losing it. Putting your hard-earned money on the line is something that new investors struggle with, and it's something you really need to psychologically get over. And the best way to do that is through starting off with small and safe investments which have little to no chance of going wrong. In today's video, I'm going to go over my top 3 ways for people who want to invest a bit of money but want to invest in something that is low risk, not necessarily a great return, but will get you a bit more used to putting your money on the line. So coming in at number 1 is everyone's favorite, and that is a high interest savings account. Now this really just gets you used to putting your money away. It's low risk. It's extremely unlikely that a bank is going to go bankrupt, and that's why it is almost the safest investment that you can make. Essentially what you're doing is opening up an account with the bank, and they give you 2 to 3% roughly per year return on whatever money you have in the account. In order to make this successful, you need to make sure you're consistently injecting cash into the account. So set yourself an amount that you're going to put in every week or every month, whether that be $500, $1,000, even $200. Any little bit counts, because where the magic happens is compound interest. Compound interest will effectively allow you to grow your account without you even having to do anything. You don't really need to even invest more money into it, but the more you put in, the higher return you're going to get, because every time you receive an interest payment, it's going to be on the current amount that's in there. Most high interest savings accounts give you a payout every month or so. So injecting that little bit extra of cash into it every single month will mean you are getting a better return for the amount of money you have currently in there. A high interest savings account's really a long-term strategy, and the larger amount of money you have in there, the more money you're going to get back through the interest rate. Given that it's an extremely low amount, that's why it's a long-term game, because the theory is you should be consistently injecting cash in there for a decent return in 20 years time. I've put together a really basic example to show you guys how compound interest works over a 10-year period using a 2.5% per annum interest rate, which works out to be about 0.21% per month return on your investment, whilst injecting $500 into the account every single month. As you can work out, putting $500 aside into the account every single month works out to be about $6,000 a year, and consistently you'll be putting that money aside every single year to put into the account, so that really is fixed and won't fluctuate. Obviously you can put more or less into the account, but for this example we'll just stick to $500 per month. Now the first thing you'll notice is that the return for the first month, and in particular for the first year, isn't that great. You're not going to see much money coming out of it, given the fact that you're only receiving a 0.21% return on your investment per month, and you've only got $500 in there. So the first month's return only works out to be $1.04. Now this is where the compound interest comes into play, because over time that account is gradually going to grow on its own through the interest that's earned, as well as your fund injections every single month. By the end of the first year you would have received a return of roughly around $81, $82 on your investment. Now this is not a large amount by any stretch, but when you look at the next year you can see that returns increase to $235 roughly, which is a significantly larger amount. Now if you keep this going consistently, your account's going to grow from the interest as well as your cash injections. When we get to the 10th year, you'll see we're actually receiving a return of $1,600 or just over per year, which is significantly more than the 83 odd dollars we were receiving in the first year. And this is the beauty of compound interest and consistently putting aside money into the account. After the 10th year of your own capital of putting $500 in per month, you've saved of your own money $60,000, which is a real decent amount of money, and in Australia is a really good house deposit. But on top of that, you have also earned $8,213.52 interest. Now, that gives you a grand total of over 68 grand in your account. And that's from simply saving your money and using an interest rate to gradually grow that account. Now, if we look forward an additional 10 years, so by that stage, it's 20 years into the future, you've invested about 120 grand of your own capital. But the thing to realize is now you're receiving $3,767.29 per month on your interest rate. As a result, just from having your money sitting in an account at a 2.5% interest rate, over that 20-year period, you have earned over $35,000. This is why it's extremely important to get into compound interest investments such as high interest savings accounts early on to make sure you reap the reward of having a long-term account open with significant investments every single month. Now, imagine you have an increase in your disposable income, and as a result, you can now inject $1,000 into that account per month instead of $500. You're going to see significant results a lot quicker, in fact, in half the time effectively, because you're doubling the amount of money that you've put into the account. This account should really be used as a safety net if your other investments go down the hole in the future, because then you've still got a large amount of money sitting there that you can use for emergency situations, or you can put down on a house, or you can use for any other sort of investments you want to make in the future, and you've made money on it. It's not just been sitting in an account where you're not earning any money whatsoever. You've actually, over a 20-year period, for instance, made $35,000 by simply putting money into this account. So moving on to number 2 on my list, and that is investing in blue chip companies as well as exchange traded funds. If you've done your research correctly, investing in dividend paying companies which are blue chips should be relatively low risk, and you receive a nice payout every single 6 to 12 months from the company for your investment. For dividends, roughly you receive on average a 4% return per annum, and this is noticeably higher than the return you'd receive on having the money stashed in a high interest savings account, which makes it almost the next step up from moving on from such an account. Now, for example, let's say you held 10,000 shares in a company and they were valued at $10 per share. Now, that works out to be about $100,000 worth of shares that you have in your account. And if that company was paying out 4% dividends each year, you'd be receiving 40 cents per share, which works out to be $4,000 worth of dividends each year. On top of this, most blue chip companies are either relatively stable or in theory should be growing, so your capital investment will increase over time. Now, the beauty of receiving these dividends is A, you can either put them into a high interest savings account, B, you could reinvest them within the same company. That means you'd receive a higher payout next time they pay dividends, or you could invest it in something else, or if you need to, you can spend it as a form of income. Alternatively, to further reduce your risk, you could be putting your money into index funds, which are exchange traded funds, and they're effectively managed for you. So basically, you're investing in, let's say, 10 to 20 stocks through giving your money to the index fund, and you want to choose one which is a blue chip companies predominantly that pay out dividends, and as a result, your risk is reduced due to the fact that you're investing in not just one company but a multitude of them, and you're receiving a nice healthy payout of roughly 4% per annum regardless. If one of the companies in the fund does go poorly, for example, the owner of the index fund will likely swap that share out for something which is performing a lot better, and as a result you really don't have to manage too much yourself. If you eventually build up a portfolio that is large enough of dividend paying shares, you could use it as a form of secondary, or if it's large enough, primary source of income in the future. Particularly, this is beneficial for those who are looking at retirement. They obviously need to put the hard work in early on, but putting your money into dividend paying stocks will effectively allow you to earn a larger amount of money without working. Now, coming in at number 3, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Not only is it safe, it is going to provide you with an edge. You're going to learn a lot more and be able to de-risk your investments through understanding what you need to invest in. Educating yourself is going to be fundamental to your success in your investing career. You'll constantly hear other people and very successful people bang on about this due to the fact that it is an absolute essential. And when they're talking about investing in yourself, it's nothing to do with going to university and getting a degree. It's learning new skills, gaining new experiences through watching YouTube tutorials, for instance, like this one, or through purchasing books and reading those. In theory, this investment is really only in your time and potentially a little bit of money. For instance, you may not even spend any money. There are so many free videos on the internet and ebooks available that you can download and educate yourself right now. So just to get you guys started, I want to share with you 2 books I've read, as well as 2 people I follow on social media through YouTube videos, and they provide a lot of free content. So coming in for the first book is Bulls, Bears and a Croupier. This is by Matthew Kidman and is one of the first books I read on investing. It's an amazing introduction on how to pick shares and what to look for in a company, particularly when it comes to looking at the numbers and looking at the management style of the people involved. The second book is More Money by Noel Whittaker, and this is a book which allows you to delve into different areas of your life, whether that be investing or tax, and identify where you can make more money. Now, this is really good for people just sort of getting into this thing, as a lot of the ideas in the book are quite basic but will significantly help you financially if you're just getting off the ground. Now, 2 really great people I follow online are Timothy Sykes, who is a millionaire mentor and trader. He provides thousands of free videos online on YouTube. He also provides some courses. I personally don't really believe you need to sign up to these sort of courses. They're definitely beneficial, and he has the students to show you that it's absolutely possible to make money following his tips, but the amount of free content that's already available is absolutely amazing, and you should take advantage of that first. Secondly is Stephan, and he's a real estate agent and investor. He has an absolute ton of videos on YouTube and is blowing up right now. One of my favorite videos is where he shows you how he purchases a Tesla for $0 using all sorts of tricks. Absolutely amazing stuff and extremely beneficial, especially to the American viewers, but also other people around the world, because he goes into many different concepts which can be applied to anyone's lives. That wraps up my top 3 safest investments for the year. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like and comment for any other videos you would like to see, and always remember to subscribe for more content. Hope you guys had a great time watching and have an awesome day. See ya.